It's time for the most prestigious award in professional wrestling podcast. Seriously? All right. And this year will probably be the best one yet. It's time for the TWPYS, a celebration of the best in professional wrestling. Here's your host, the man who buys more bootleg t-shirts than he does flowers for his wife, Brian Christie.
Yes, we are back with the 2024 TWPYS. Unbelievable, the year. Can't believe we're actually doing this again. This is actually, guys, the fourth time, the fourth annual TWPYS. Unreal. So this is our annual award show where we take a look back at everything of the year that was in professional wrestling. Guys, as I'll go into, for those listening and watching who maybe haven't seen the TWPYS before I go over how it all works, but when you filled out your ballots, what was kind of like your overall sentiment looking back at the year? Like, did you think this was a great year for wrestling, or what did you think, Jay?
Why are we doing this again?
Why not? Don't you want to look back? You can't go forward without looking back.
No, I'm good, man. It was what it was. There was a couple things I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But realistically, I'm like, okay, we're doing this again. Here we are.
Fair enough. Kev, Joe, any other overarching thoughts from the look back at the year?
I think it's fun to rethink of the moments of the year. I think that's my favorite thing of kind of the rankings, and I know you're going to go into how we did all this in a second, because you kind of forget about some of the things, right? Because you kind of have in your mind of like some of the big things that happen, but you kind of forget about some of like the mids, right? Kind of in there. You remember one of the top couple or top spots ones, but then other than that, it's always just fun reliving, because when the year starts, everything that happened the year before kind of goes out the window. So.
Yeah. Joe, any other thoughts on your end?
Well, I thought, like, basically when you gave the the ballot or whatever, I'm like, man, there was a lot of things that we at the time we thought were so good, but they became so forgettable. So it made me conflicted. Was this a really good year, or was this a like attitude era year where something new happened each week that it always topped it, and then years from now we're going to look back at it going like, it really wasn't as good as we remember. So I was conflicted with that, because looking back with your ballot, I'm like, it was good, but it's like it ended, like what happened next was better.
Yeah.
So everything that happened like at the beginning of the year was just like, not so much, because we know how much better it got.
It's tough, yeah.
And I think Jason considers the TWPYS the Dundies, so it's like, how dare you?
The hell's a Dundee?
He
doesn't watch
television. He doesn't watch The Office.
No. But I think
so. Let our Michael Scott have his moment, please.
Well, I do think, I think you kind of have to fight off like the recency bias a little bit when you look at this stuff. But I see your point on it, and when I go through the votes, there's some categories that it's pretty. The top 10 that you guys submitted are relatively the same names, but there's a couple of them where it's so over the board. So I think that's what's fun for me to look at and be like, you really like this, and I didn't even have this on my ballot for whatever category. So it really, makes the voting and the totals pretty interesting overall. But before we get into our first category, it is the TWPY tradition to do an opening monologue. And last year, that rat bastard Mel Kipper interrupted me. I don't know if you guys remember that. I've made sure that will not be the case this year. I'd like to present to you Wrestling 2024, A Year in the Ring. The squared circle, a stage for glory, a battleground where legends tell their story. In 2024, the drama played out grand, with fists, flips, and stories so well planned. The Rock returned, and at first people cheered. The dream match with Roman was finally here. but the people revolted. They all took a stand. Hashtag we want Cody. The people demand. WrestleMania XL dawned with a massive show. Kevin cracking me
I
up.
like it. It's good.
WrestleMania XL dawned with a massive show. Cody and Roman, the world watched them grow. Despite Roman's claim to keep his glory, Cody overcame and finished his story. Drew and Punk clashed, both fierce, both strong. Though rivalry a sage, I'm not even saying this right. Though rivalry a saga, carrying on. Rivalries for women didn't take a back seat. Liv and Rhea clashed while Dom had nuggies to eat. For us boys, we did SummerSlam for trip number 3. We did WrestleCon, The Flats, and Tina's for karaoke. My performance sucked. Kevin didn't go. Jason was a rock star, and Joe had a red cup. That's solo. Overall, we had fun. The show gave us plenty to cheer. Just one thing I would have changed. I wouldn't have drank that Hogan beer. So let's look back on 2024. It certainly went by fast, and we appreciate all of you listening and watching to That Wrestling Podcast.
Not bad.
Thank you. Polite golf claps, polite comments. Appreciate it. Try to keep it a little shorter than past ones of those. All right.
But how are you supposed to end it?
Oh, Orange Cassidy sucks.
Thank you.
I forgot. Thank you, Joe. Point for you. All right. Now then,
I was waiting for it. Like, say it.
I was going to wait till the very end of the TWPYs to say it, but no, you caught me. All right. Now, how the winners were determined. Again, if you're new to the TWPYs, each of us 4 guys were to list our top 10 performers in each category. Each position assigned a point number. So first place is given 10 points, second place 9 points, third place 8, all the way down. 10th place gets 1 point. I then tally up the point totals from all 4 of our ballots to determine the overall rankings. In the event of a tie in any of the places, the wrestlers share that ranking. Now then, let us begin with the first award for the 4th annual TWPYs.
Shattering the glass ceiling, reaching for the brass ring, the main event push, whatever you call it. These men and women showed why they are the top performers. Here are the nominees for Breakout Performer of the Year.
Yes, the category is Breakout Performer of the Year. This one I love so much because breakout to me means 2 things. It could mean somebody completely off the radar who had a big year, or somebody who's just been in the mix, but just had their best year. Just they broke out. And it could be a guy or a girl. So always really interesting to me how the votes will go for this category. Let us begin with the votes. We go by the top 5. Number 5, NXT's Kalani Jordan with 16 points. I know the MSU faithful on this show are happy about that. Here's where it gets a little close, guys. Number 4, your AEW Women's Champion, Mariah May, with 25 points. Number 3, NXT's Oba Femi, with 27 points.
Woo.
We had a tie for second, both with 30 points. Bronson Reed and Joe Hendry. And at number 1, a clean sweep across the board, 40 points. The one and only, that's right, I love you, Solo, Jacob Fatu. Congratulations, Jacob Fatu. 40 points is the Breakout Performer of the Year. Jacob Fatu, of course, he made his debut in WWE back in June on SmackDown, and what a debut!
On my birthday.
On your birthday, June 21st.
On my birthday. That was my gift.
That was your gift. Was Jacob Fatu whipping Cody and Randy and Kevin Owens'
He yells, "I love you, Joe."
maybe not there, but yes. But yeah, what a debut! He became the newest member of the Bloodline, and he had his first match at Money in the Bank when him and Solo and Tama Tonga defeated Cody, KO, and Randy Orton. Also was tag team champ for a brief time. Him and Tama Tonga defeated DIY, and then Solo said, "Hey, give that to Tonga Loa and just be my personal bodyguard." So what a 6-7 months for Jacob Fatu. And Jay, you have sung this guy's praises since his independent days. It's got to be pretty gratifying for you to see how successful his WWE run has been thus far.
Well, I mean, it just shows that I know talent. And that what I've been saying for years was true. And I'll say it again. Once you're done watching this, Google on YouTube. Jacob Fatu versus Fan. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I love, like, we had a couple moments too with him outside of like the main Bloodline story. Do you guys remember earlier, maybe in the fall, when him and Braun had like a stare down outside of a ring during the match, and the crowd went, "Oh shit! Oh shit!"
Like, didn't that just happen on last Friday?
They you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't clarify. I meant Braun Breaker, and then he did it with Braun Strowman just this past week, where they had a little thing in the ring. The two of them went, you went, "Oh shit! Okay." So, I mean, the buzz on this guy is off the charts. But yeah, I had, when I was going through the nominees, I was like, Bronson had a hell of a year. Oba Femi's coming on. Mariah May, huge year for AEW. Very interesting. All three of you guys each had Joe Henry at number 3. So we may not agree on everything, but all three of you guys had Joe Henry in third place. I'm like, I had to double check and make sure I wasn't reading somebody else's votes when I was like moving on to the next person. And so, yeah. What's that?
That means you gave him an 8th place.
I had him down. Yeah, let's see. I had him down a little.
You must have had him at 8 if he had 30.
I had him. Let's see here.
Math.
Let's see here.
If we all had him third,
that
would make it 8 points each.
Right. Okay.
Oh, we had him at 3rd. I thought you said 2nd. Never mind.
Yeah. No, 3rd. Yeah. So that'd be 24. Okay. So yeah, I had him.
You had him. Yeah.
I had him at 5th, which would be 6th place.
I thought you said 2nd.
We had the same like order though for I had Mariah May, Oba Femi, Bronson at number 2, Jacob Fatu at number 1. So we were all pretty much in lockstep. There was, Jada Parker was number 6 at 14. Kevin went off the board. He had
we don't need to know the rest.
Yeah, we don't need to know.
I know, but just Swerve Strickland. Kev, you did a write-in for Swerve.
I did. When you go from NXT to world champ, that's a big jump. I think that's a big breakout.
Yeah, Kev, he's been there for 4 years though. Is it really a breakout?
It is. Joe Henry, how long has he been in TNA?
I don't know.
But you need to look at it by
TNA
the year
to NXT.
Yeah. I look at it as
then he had a good year, Brian.
He had a great year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think last year he positioned himself. Like we at the end of last year, we were like, okay, he was already getting high. Past winners of Breakout Performer of the Year 2022, the Acclaimed. And last year, anybody remember last year's winner?
No. Wait, who was 2023? Oh yeah, never mind. That was last year.
That was last year. Yes.
Last year's Breakout Performer was it Swerve?
I think Swerve was like number 2. I have to look at it.
Okay.
That's why I was like, he doesn't count for this year. He did good last year.
Okay.
It was LA Knight. LA Knight.
Well,
last year. So we'll
that
add.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we were adding Jacob Fatu.
Well, who was the first year?
I don't have that readily available.
I think it was Britt.
I think
Britt won twice.
Yeah. I think Britt
won. So this
won.
is like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal award of the TWPYs. It could be cursed.
Yeah. You look at the Acclaim.
I'm sorry, Jacob.
Yeah, yeah. That we'll be doing 2, 3 years from now. Like, where are they now? Most of these, but we'll see. Hopefully, not the case. All right, let's move on to TWPY Award number 2.
It's been a hell of a year to be a visionary, a generational talent, a tribal chief, or an honorary oos. Here are the nominees for Men's Performer of the Year.
Men's Performer of the Year. All right, so your top male performer, top guy of 2024. Let's go to number 5. Will Ospreay with 18 points. Hell of an in-ring year. You can't deny that. At number 4, there's your guy, Kevin, Swerve Strickland, 21. At number 3, hell of a showing, Dom Mysterio at 24 points, all alone at number 3. We have a tie at number 2. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, both with 27 points. And that leads us to our winner. It's a back-to-back win with 37 points for the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody, obviously a monster year. He wins the 2024 Royal Rumble, ends up giving his spot to The Rock to face Roman, but then he pivots, takes his spot back, and finishes the story on night 2 of WrestleMania. He's proceeded to finish off the year fending off all challenges from AJ Styles, Logan Paul, Solo Sikoa, and now Kevin Owens. And Kevin, I will go to you. You had Cody at number 1. Your overall thoughts on the year of Cody Rhodes?
You hit the highlights, right? He finished his story, and one hell of a year, finishing it strong. And it makes me think, how can he go and maybe win again next year, right? It seems like the cards are going to be stacked against him. But I just think from the beginning in January to the end, all year, taking on a lot of challengers, doing great on the mic, doing great in the ring, emotional storytelling. I thought he deserved my number 1 spot.
Yeah, Cody got high marks, obviously, from everybody.
Yeah.
Myself, Joe, we both had Drew McIntyre number 1. Jason had Kevin Owens number.
Drew.
Common Sense Drew. Yeah, I was a coin flip.
It's been his best year. It's been his best year. Mm-hmm. And Damian Priest was like being second too. I'm like, those two are just so. I mean, Damian Priest could have been breakout performer of the year too, if you think about it.
Yeah. No, that's
according
true.
to Kevin's rules.
He could have.
100%. No,
yeah, he could have.
You're right. No. I mean, yeah, he went from one level to another level. No question about that.
And Dom went from not in the top 10 last year to 3rd.
Yeah.
There was only one person last year I remember who voted him number 1, and that was Jason. So go ahead, Jason. Give yourself your flowers. You know talent.
That's right. That's well said. Yeah,
Dom category. It comes out. I know my shit.
Yeah, across the board. Yeah, Kevin had Dom 4th. Joe had Dom 4th. Jay, you had him 6th. I had him 6th as well. So I mean, when you look at, I'm sure there's some. Where's Coney Ton at tonight that he's going to go, Dom Mysterio beat Will Ospreay and Swerve? What the fuck?
No, I think with Dom, though, it's like he's the best of the mid card. He's not a main eventer yet, but like in the spot, that's why I put him 4th. I'm like, he's not Damian, he's not Drew, he's not Cody, but he's like the best of the mid card in WWE. So that's why he deserved the 4th spot. So I'm kind of glad that he made our top 5.
Yeah. Completely deserved. Our past winners, 2022, and I think 2021 as well, Roman Reigns, and as I mentioned, Cody Rhodes, back to back. And Kev, I'll add to what you said about like, what could he do to top it? And we kind of talked about it with the Saturday night's main event show. Like, is there some heel stuff maybe in the cards? He used the chair to beat Kevin Owens. Could that push him to a different level? I don't know. Something to monitor for 2025. Let's keep it moving, my friends. It's time for TWPY Award number 3.
Powerful, dynamic, determined, and groundbreaking. Just some of the words that best describe women's wrestling. Here are the nominees for Women's Performer of the Year.
Women's Performer of the Year. The votes were very, very close for this one, guys. Let's start it off with number 5, 15 points. Your Money in the Bank holder, Tiffany Stratton. At number 4, the longest reigning United States Women's Champion of all time. What's her other line about the country being green? I kind of can't remember now. But Chelsea Green is number 4 with 27 points. 27, it's a great number. Here's where we're going to have some fun. Number 3. She was timeless for most of the year. Now she's got amnesia. She's got 33 points at number 3. It's Toni Storm. At number 2, Rhea Ripley, 36 points. That leaves your winner, watch her, with 37 points, up by 1 point. The winner, Liv Morgan, is your Women's Performer of the Year. Guys,
perfect.
I mean, listen, you talk about splitting hairs on this one with Toni, Rhea, and Liv, and Chelsea with a great showing at number 4. But yeah, the Liv Morgan revenge story began at the Royal Rumble. Guys, we'll have to remember coming up here. I know we'll be on the Jericho cruise, but she was once again the runner-up in the Royal Rumble. Bayley eliminated her last. So is that going to happen again? We'll see. But she proceeded to...
Why would it? She's a champ. Unless she loses on
that's
January
true.
6th.
She could lose at Netflix debut. Yeah, you're right. Good point to you, Joe. Nevertheless,
you call him Dave?
Maybe. Okay. Should I?
I think you just called
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not
here, man.
Is this thing working? What is going on? All right. But yeah, she proceeded to legitimately hurt Rhea Ripley in a backstage segment, forcing Rhea to vacate the Women's Championship. And she defeated Becky Lynch at King and Queen of the Ring to become the champ. And then, of course, at SummerSlam, she defeats Rhea with the help of Daddy Dom and shocked the world, joining the Judgment Day, has remained champ ever since. Guys, look, you all know I've been on board Liv Morgan train for years and years, and this is what I saw in her all along, all right? I'm going to give myself a little pat in the back. She is a heat magnet. Her pairing with Dom has been fantastic, and she can deliver a great match as well. It's just been great to see she finally got to kind of break through that long-held standing of the top, dominated by like the Charlottes and Becky's and Bianca's and Ronda Rousey when she was there and all them. So Liv Morgan, I mean, again, 3-1, I'm not going to fight anybody on, you know? Jay, you had Toni number 1.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had number 1 because of the importance of the story on the shows that she was on. You know, I'm a big proponent of that.
Yeah.
Toni Storm was a higher percentage of AEW than Liv Morgan was of Raw or SmackDown.
Fair. Are you enjoying this like Amnesia reboot with her back?
It makes me laugh. I watched the pay-per-view the other night and they did some more. She had a match on the pre-show because she's a rookie. She's getting started.
Yes.
So she's working her way up to the title. But it's funny because Shivani plays into it, and Excalibur and Nigel, I don't think like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, is it Shivani going into business for himself? I don't know. I'm sure that's what the Dirts will clip, me saying that, but get the context. So, yeah, I love it. I just think it's funny, and I don't know how they, you know, make her realize, like, maybe they have Mariah dress up as the black and white as Toni Storm, and then they run into each other. Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, it's cool. It was.
They throw a shoe at her.
Oh, the shoe,
and it hits her in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. It's I when she came out as like Rockstar Toni, was like, oh no, what are we doing? And then you let it play out. You go, I like this. I like this a lot. So, all right, great stuff all around. Congratulations to Liv Morgan. She follows in the footsteps of, I think we said Britt Baker in 2021. Bianca was the winner in 2022, and last year's winner was Rhea Ripley. I think she was a unanimous winner, if I remember correctly. So we got a new champion on the throne for this year's TWPYs. We're halfway done, guys. Let's keep it moving.
With apologies to Dave Meltzer, the only 5-star match reviews that matter come from Brian, Jason, Kevin, and Joe. Yeah, even Joe. Here are the nominees for Men's Match of the Year.
A lot of matches to look at, guys. And we have a tie for number 5 with 16 points. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, and the men's War Games match, both with 16 points. Number 4 and number 3, I was glad to see get a lot of love, to be honest. Number 4, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul at King of the Ring.
Good.
That was a really good match. So that's number 4 with 17 points. Number 3, just 1 point above it. You had to go back a ways. This was at AEW Revolution. Second appearance for Will Ospreay. It's Will Ospreay versus Take a Shitter. Takeshita. Sorry. 18 points.
His TWPY debut, Alabama man.
Number 3 got robbed, honey. I don't believe it. At number 2, the story has been finished, but it's not TWPY award winning. It's number 2. It's Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns with 26 points. And your men's match of the year, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. It's Bad Blood. It's Hell in a Cell. 38 points. A resounding victory for Punk and Drew. This was the 3rd match of their trilogy, and I think we all agree this was really a return to what Hell in a Cell is supposed to be. You know, the definitive end to a feud. Of course, Drew beat Punk at SummerSlam. Punk beat Drew at Bash at Berlin, and they had a bloody, violent war. Great callbacks to like Drew pulling out the bracelet beads and all that. Joe, you had this actually at number 2 with Ospreay and Danielson number 1, I believe.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ospreay and Danielson didn't make the top 5 here. It was just that match was the best storytelling AEW did all year. Okay. And I think it deserved to be like number 1 match of the year because it's like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do the move? It's like those two just told the story. I was like really conflicted on like not have after because I voted men like performer of the year first, and then looking at the match of the year, I'm like Ospreay. I'm like, dang, I shouldn't put him higher. But it's overall character too. So yeah, I was conflicted on which one was the better match, but it was really 1A and 1B. I thought I haven't given enough love to AEW this year, so I wanted to like give them some roses on that one, and it didn't even make the top 5.
Yeah, it ended up.
There I go trying.
It was like 8th. It was like 8th place. He had Gunther and Priest was 6th. A lot of love, and on the lower rankings, like I bet either 3 or 4 of us all had Braun versus Sheamus versus Kaiser at War Games. Like we all thought that was worthy, but near the bottom. So I ended up with 12 points. But yeah, I had the same thing. Like, you know, do you just flip a coin with like 6 Will Ospreay matches to say that one's the best? Like they're he had
Ospreay match of the year.
That should have been his own.
Right. We should have did our own top 5 Ospreay matches.
Well, he didn't make it because the best Ospreay match was him versus Takeshita.
Right. He got, so that was on at least the number 3. I think what, and
he had on Saturday where
he got 5 and 3.
Right, 5 and 3. So yeah, he was well represented, and that's it. You know, maybe it's a dividing of the votes, right? Like if you got 2 guys who are like MVP candidates, like how do I vote for them? So I don't know, but yeah, I heard he killed it at fucking World's End with Kyle Fletcher and Okada.
So good.
Yeah. So
I went back Sunday and watched them again.
Yeah.
That's how good the matches were. And
that's how you know it's a good match when you watch it the next day.
Oh, Steve Urkel, boy. I don't know how this thing's going to go for him over there. It's not looking good right now. So, you know.
Steve,
Is it the
the
toilet
toilet paper?
sign
Yeah, I heard
of
about
what
that.
Oh, it's bad. It is.
Yeah,
Ugh. Anyway, proceed.
yeah.
You know
No,
what? They
no
should
worries.
throw dude if he was in WWE, they'd throw dude whites at him
Yeah,
because
'cause
it
it's a
is their
corporate
sponsor. So that works
yeah,
out.
you can
Yeah,
Yeah.
put
Can't do that
corporate
in
synergy
AEW.
right there.
so
Yeah.
Joe
Throw
Tessitore
dude
should throw
wipes
that.
at Dominic.
All right, so yes, it is Punk and Drew, Hell in a Cell. Follows up. I don't know what 2021 is. I'll have to look that up at some time, or maybe I won't. But 2022's winner was Cody versus Seth in Hell in a Cell. A very different reason why that one
Yeah.
won, because you saw Cody's
Nope.
pack
The
being
best
pitch
match
black.
was Gunther versus Sheamus that year. You got it wrong again. Sorry.
Oh, so you set him up. You set him up for that.
I looked
Yeah,
when
he
I
did.
looked into the records. I remember Joe being furious that Sheamus
I'm not
versus
letting that
Gunther.
one go. That's still the best match of 2022.
I think it was number 5 that year, but yes.
Should have been. But I voted for it for 100 points. All right, go
It
ahead.
did have some redemption a little bit last year. 2023 was the Mania 39 match of Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. Jay, you were in the building for that one. That was the match of the year, 2023. So
the makeup winning
makeup award, yeah, makeup call.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations again to Punk and Drew. Let's keep it moving.
So Drew joins illustrious Gunther as back-to-back match of the year winners. Got it.
I think that's unofficially official, but
it's official.
We'll let you roll with it, buddy. The next TWPY category is...
Of all the women's wrestling matches, who shine brightest under the bright lights? Here are the nominees for Women's Match of the Year.
Women's Match of the Year. All right, we have here at number 5, we go to a match that definitely didn't see this happening, at least before the Royal Rumble happening. For NXT Battleground, it was Roxanne Perez versus the TNA champ Jordynne Grace with 18 points for number 5. Number 4, we go to WrestleMania Night 2. It's Bayley and Io Sky. Bayley winning the title for number 4. Number 3, I was a little surprised at this one. Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, also for Mania from Night 1 with 21 points. Tie for number 2. Tie at number 2, we have the ladder match for the inaugural North American Women's Champion in NXT, and Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley from SummerSlam. They both ended up with 23 points.
We have breaking news to report here on That Wrestling Podcast. As you know, when it comes to close elections, a candidate can demand a recount. And that is what has taken place here for the Women's Match of the Year. The winner of the NXT North American title ladder match, Kalani Jordan, has petitioned to recalculate the vote total, where her match was tied at 23 with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley from SummerSlam. We have granted her request, and as it turns out, she is correct. The NXT North American title ladder match now has a certified total of 27 points, and she is the sole possession of second place for Women's Match of the Year. Congratulations to Kalani Jordan. Now let's continue with this year's TWPY Awards.
Your winner for the Women's Match of the Year, we go to Toronto, Canada, the Women's Money in the Bank match. This was won by Tiffany, 35 points. So a pretty decisive number 1, I would have to say. Tiffany Stratton, the winner. Crazy match and a crazy sick bump of her pushing the home country favorite Chelsea Green off the ladder from inside the ring through the tables on the outside. And Jason, I'm like a broken record, but you were in the building again for Money in the Bank. What do you remember most about this match?
It was a good match, and of course the Chelsea Green thing. And I feel like the women, I don't remember if they. I feel like they started slow and then got really hot towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
It may have even been better than the men's, for all
It
I know.
was.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's great. I want to get back up there again, not for whatever's there, but
Elimination
I just
Chamber.
want to go to Toronto again. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'm ready for Tiffany to pull the trigger now, too, guys.
she almost did on Friday.
I know. Maybe that's another Netflix debut.
Is this going to be Brian's like last year? Looking back at 2024, Brian kept asking Damian Priest to cash in, and then finally gave up, and then he did it at WrestleMania. Is this your cash in moment? Every week you're going to say she's going to cash in.
We'll have to see. Yeah, I was so confident it was happening at SummerSlam at Ford Field. That was like 8 months before it actually happened. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Now, do you think she's going to be the first woman to not be successful with the cash in?
I don't.
Because
the women are 100%.
Because of Candace being involved in this three-way, it makes me think maybe Candace costs Tiffany the cash in.
Or maybe Candace has been working with Tiffany the whole time.
Yeah, I like my idea better, but sure.
Of course you do. But no, it's like I don't know. I think they finally gotta have. They can't always have the women be 100%. It got lame when the men were doing it, so that's why
it'll happen eventually. But I think it's going to be when like Piper Niven wins, or one of the lower level, or maybe it's a rookie that wins it and then blows it because they're a rookie. Man, I got great storylines tonight. Wow. TWPYS bringing out.
Who was the first man to lose the Money in the Bank?
Is it Damian Sandow?
I think you're right.
Sandow.
Yeah.
It was Sandow. The night after Night of Champions. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Tiffany has to win. With being such a great heel, the fans love her. There's a rock.
And that's not a great heel.
But that's the thing. Roman, great heel.
A great heel is but Dominic is a great heel. The New Day are now great heels.
I don't know. I think Tiffany. I think if I had to put a percentage on it, I would bet the house on Tiffany winning. Maybe she swerves us and goes after that new IC women's belt somehow.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because like when I look at her though, this is the biggest thing with Tiffany, and then we can get on to the last TWPY. But like I rank her almost at the same level of like a Chelsea Green, a massive mid-carder, one step from that top. I just don't want her to get the title and be lost at the top. That's my biggest fear with Tiffany.
That's interesting, Kev, because I think that Tiffany is the Shawn, and like Chelsea would be like the Janetti.
Ouch.
Out of those two.
No, I was just saying to the level. Like I don't rank Tiffany as like a Liv or a Rhea level, like chasing that title or that level of championship.
When Liv showed up on the roster, she wasn't this version of Liv, so maybe
that is true.
It could happen. I think it'll happen quick with Tiffany. So
I think that Raw is coming up quick, January 6th.
True.
Indeed, it is. It is. Yeah, I think.
And what channel is that on again?
It's the
Netflix.
one that goes da-dum, da-dum. All right. Congratulations.
Well done, Brian. That was good.
Right.
You know what you're talking
about. Previous women match of the year winners 2022, Bianca versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. And 2023, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in the steel cage at Payback. Jason,
which I was in the building for that.
Jason, you may have been at one of those or both of them.
And Jason was at the building in both of them.
I'm pretty sure it's in my garage for both.
Men's match of the year, Lou Thez versus George Hackensmith. Were you there? My God.
I was.
I'm just proud that I remember I was in the building for
yeah,
but
you
Jason
were
was with me.
Timeless Jason Marchuka.
Oh man. That's great. But listen, guys,
lucky rabbit
somebody
foot
just
for
send a
good shows,
Photoshop picture
apparently.
of that. Put my face ringside of a Paul Hackenschmidt versus whoever else Brian said, and
yeah, Luthez.
Luthez, and
God bless him. He sold out the Tokyo
Frank
Dome, I
Gotch.
think.
Frank Gotch.
But seriously, related to that, I mean, when I was looking at our vote tallies, it totally makes sense that if you're in the building for these matches, you probably are ranking them higher than if you were watching on the couch.
That was a factor.
It's just going to mean more.
It was a factor for me.
Yes, absolutely. It should be. There's no right or wrong in your reasoning of why things are favored. Oh, wait a minute. I do got to go back to. Well, no, we're good. No, we're good.
No, it's true.
It's absolutely true. And so,
that's why my moment of the year number one was when Cody at the end of the house show in Fort Wayne came out and talked for 5 minutes.
Isn't it great being here in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Yeah, this is great. No, it's absolutely true. And again, I'm glad Coney isn't here because, sorry, Will Ospreay would probably be higher if we were in the building for Will Ospreay. You fuckers.
That's
Coney. Is that Coney or Cartman?
That's what Coney sounds like with a cold.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. He's going to kick my ass when he's on the pod next. Brian, you idiot. Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to the end, guys. I can't believe we're finally here, but we are. And this is the time for the most important TWPY, the highest ranking, the highest award that can possibly be given out by the four of us. Take it away, voice guy.
Wrestling is about moments. The moments that make us cheer. The moments that make us boo. The moments that make us get out of our seat. And the moments that make us rant on Twitter. But only one can receive the most valuable award of them all. It's time for the nominees for the TWPY Moment of the Year.
It is the moment of the year. That's what wrestling's all about. It's about the moments. It's about those things that make you go, holy shit, make you jump off the couch. And we had an unprecedented vote this time, guys. We had 5 moments that had the exact same score. So I'm not going to put in fourth place, we have 5 things and keep going. I'm just going to name these 5, and then we have a second place and a first place. Okay. So these 5, you can say they're tied for third. But all 5 of these things with 13 points. Solo Sikoa spiking Paul Heyman and kicking him out of the bloodline. Kofi and Woods turning heel on Big E. The Undertaker taking out The Rock at WrestleMania during Cody and Roman. Jacob Fatu's debut. And finally, Roman Reigns returns at SummerSlam. All with 13 points. Your number 2.
And
with
Jason was in the building for that one.
He was. Number 2, 14 points. 1 more point above that list of 5. CM Punk takes out Drew McIntyre after he wins the title at WrestleMania and allows Damian Priest to cash in. That was a fucking great moment. And finally, number 1, the winner for Moment of the Year. We go back to SummerSlam. Dom Mysterio turns on Rhea Ripley and proceeds to make out with Liv Morgan.
I was in the building.
We're 4 for 4 on that one. And guys, I'll play the audio here. You guys know for me, I screamed like a little girl. Oh my God. When Dom and Liv started making out. If that doesn't give you the reaction to be a moment of the year, I don't know what is. It absolutely was for me. Guys, all of us take a few moments on just, your memories from that and wanting to smack me on the head or whatever it was. I don't know. Go ahead, Kev.
I couldn't hear for a good 3 days. I was standing right next to you. And
You were
with,
next to
what,
him. That's why.
60-some thousand people in butthole Cleveland, Ohio, and I couldn't hear.
I was probably like shaking you or bumping into you too, like, get a load of this.
Oh yeah, you also threw on the
Worst
back.
football stadium in the NFL.
Yeah.
No, I think that has the right to be moment of the year. I think Roman's return deserved to be on that list. I think there's several in the 7 that you went through. There's some that
I think I put one on the list as my number one because you didn't have it on the ballot.
Yes.
Cody finishes his story. I'm looking through that. I'm like, okay, part of the match, but like, we waited 2 years for this moment to happen, and it finally did. And Brian didn't put it on the ballot, so I put it at number one.
It's the Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, it's a Sergeant Slaughter of the TWPYS ballot. It's like, I'm like, are you kidding me? You had The Rock whipping him in the rain in Chicago.
Oh, that was great.
List, but you didn't.
That was up there for me. But I love that moment.
You had all the buildup, but not the finish.
I know. And that's probably an oversight, but in my mind, I think I was going to the match.
I think the Sarge needs to give you another Cobra Clutch for that one. Yeah. Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Dave LaGreca needs to yell at you for that one.
Yeah, like I said, I had all those moments in the match.
I think it was an oversight, but I had to put that as my number one.
Yeah. No, when I saw that too, I went, all right, maybe that was the way to throw it out there. But yeah, in my mind, I was like, okay, the match is going to be where Cody's going to get the nod on that. I don't know.
Question for you, Brian. Where
the match in my argument, the match wasn't as important as the moment of what happened after the match when everyone came out.
Yeah.
Raised them on the shoulders like Bret at WrestleMania 10. Triple H came out. Like, he thanked everybody. His mother was there. Brandy was there. Like, it was like the culmination of why he came back at WrestleMania. And it ended Roman's 1,316-day reign as champion.
Yeah.
That's the moment of the year.
I'm waiting for you to finish your story and explanation.
But
Jesus.
I wasn't in the audience for that one. Was anyone here in the audience?
For what?
No.
For Cody finishing. That's why I didn't win.
That's it.
That's why I didn't win.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get murdered in the backstage for Y6 to even make the top 7.
Kevin added the Y6 murder. You get murdered. There's one other
gunshot in my forehead. I would.
There's one other one that I think really deserves some strong consideration at number 1, Jason. Ethan Page's surprise debut on NXT.
Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody
saw that coming.
No.
Did you get that though? Did you get Jason voted number 1? Ethan Page's surprise debut on NXT.
Because we knew all the other stuff was going to happen. Nobody knew Ethan Page was going to show up 2 days after he was on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So shut up, Brian. My logic makes sense.
Should his voting privileges be revoked for next year, pending the investigation?
Jason's like, dang, say the top 5. We had a 5-way tie at 3. Maybe that would have been number 5.
That's classic Jason. I went, oh, what the fuck?
It
was a good moment. That's why I put it on the list.
It was a good moment.
It was. It was great. I went, whoa, how cool.
But that's another thing. I totally forgot about it until I read like a lot of the suggestions. And then I actually even Googled, I put like top wrestling moments because you forget.
You have a life, Kevin.
There's 52 weeks, right?
Yeah.
No, it was great.
Jason, were you at the Performance Center when it happened?
I was not.
Okay, all right. Didn't know. Okay.
But seriously, all the other stuff we knew, but a huge debut surprise like that. I mean, it's only right under the CM Punk as a level of importance in the history of professional wrestling.
That part's
and it's that close to CM Punk. No, seriously,
we're splitting hairs.
My like I said, my reasoning was because nobody saw that coming. And for
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
surprises will get the votes almost every time.
And to
We
that
do like
point,
to be surprised because it's hard to be surprised.
and to that point, you're right. We all saw what Dom was going to with Liv and whatever. It didn't take it away from me, but I get your logic and your reasoning. Yeah, wild. But yeah, Dom and Liv co-sharing the TWPY moment of the year.
Dom's first TWPY.
Dom's first TWPY, the first of many to come, I think. Past TWPY Award winners for Moment of the Year 2022, Cody Rhodes returning at WrestleMania, and 2023 was CM Punk returning at Survivor Series.
And 2024 was Ethan Page returning.
Not returning, debuting.
Yes. All ego. All right, friends.
One hell of a breakout year for that Ethan Page. I'm saying for my reasoning.
Oh, man.
I'll see myself out.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. Guys, thank you. Now, this has, again, been a hell of a year. I really enjoy going back and looking at everything because, there's just, like you said, there's so much goddamn wrestling. So it's tough to remember it all.
I think it's been a while since I've said that.
What's that?
There's just too much damn wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
I know at one point I did say it. I just don't remember when that was.
Yeah. No, it's true. Although we got 1 hour less a week with no more Rampage. Womp womp.
The
Rampage
finale of Rampage was hilarious. It was an all-out brawl with Mox's crew against everyone in the locker room, but it was the level of Leo Rush and Action Andretti were the first two out. Then Commander came out, and then it was like Briscoe came out, and then
so basically everyone that's going to be on the Jericho crew.
Here comes Serpentico! Look out!
I mean,
everyone who relied on Rampage for their TV time got beat up first.
Oh,
that's terrible.
Yeah, it was just this all-out brawl, and it just went off the air because they
the first
ended it.
The first Rampage, the first match was Omega versus Christian for the TNA Championship.
That's right.
CM Punk made his debut in AEW on Rampage, and then it ends in a whimper.
That's about it. Yeah,
the memories alone.
The only thing I'll remember about Rampage was exactly what you said. Punk's debut, because I was at the Nerd Bar with Jason in Vegas. I really couldn't tell you anywhere else I watched Rampage besides about probably 9 to 10 times in my living room.
Yeah. Yep. Leave the memories alone. But yeah, we'll look forward to 2025. Guys, thanks for doing this look back with me. Yeah. And thank you, of course, to all the listeners, all the viewers. Let us know what you think of the TWPYs on the YouTube comments. Please appreciate that very, very much. We will be back next, barring any crazy situation. But I know we were planning on a post Netflix debut.
Yeah, let's discuss that right now on the show.
So what day is that again?
What?
What day is that again?
Oh, that you're calling back to that. January 6th.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we going to do a post show? I mean, it'll be 11 o'clock at night. So, I mean, I'm the one that's going to have to produce that thing and be up until about 2 or 3 in the morning. But I'm down. Yeah. I'm in for the Raw on Netflix.
Count me in. Yep. I mean, let's see if I fall asleep in the middle. I don't think I will, though. It should be the show is stacked.
Yeah.
We got championship matches. We're gonna have probably Cena, maybe The Rock, Ethan Page may show up. It could be a surprise, like everything. Great.
Main roster debut.
Debut. No one's seen that coming.
No one saw it.
All debut Ethan Page.
Y'all focused on Roman and Solo Tribal Combat. Here comes Ethan Page with a chair shot to the back.
I'm in. Let's do it.
With Sean Spears.
It looks like Joe, you're the only one that hasn't.
I'm in.
All right.
Why not?
All
right.
right.
I'm not going to get any sleep anyway. So it's like, it's the Tuesday when I get back from break. The kids aren't ready to learn anyway. So we can watch a movie. I don't care.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's
The
right.
wrestler. Joe's gonna pop in wrestler.
Right. Yeah, that'll be it. I
Kids,
like
make
my
something
job.
out of
I don't
your
want to
life.
lose it.
Is the wrestler the Von Erichs one?
Oh,
No,
the wrestler,
No,
Randy
it's-
the Ram.
yeah, Randy.
Oh
the
that
yeah,
was the one with
what's
Mickey
Von
Rourke.
Erichs? Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
Hey,
Yeah.
kids
And
here.
Claw.
My dad's like Fritz. Oh, sorry, Johnny. All right, let's go talk to the guy.
I can't believe they cut one of the brothers out of the movie.
All right. A lot of laughs, guys. Thank you so much. All right. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast, at That WrestlePod for all the social media, whatamaneuver.net for all your merchandise needs. Until next year, enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you in 2025.
You know, it is next year.
Yeah, my bad.